This is Carmen Rojas. I am super excited that you are here today. We have an exciting opportunity for businesses like yours for us to work together, make some money, get some happier clients, and just have a lot more fun with our marketing and get some better results. This is about an analytics and metrics partnership with Rojas Consulting Group. Basically, Rojas Consulting Group is a digital marketing group. We are virtually based. We have clients all over the country. What we decided a little while ago was that we had some goals and objectives that we wanted to accomplish as a company and then, of course, personally. And we felt that the best way to do that was to improve our bottom line. So the best way to improve our bottom line is to offer more products and services. So going the B2B route was what we decided was a good opportunity for us. Typically, the way we worked was that we would offer our services directly to businesses and companies, and that was working pretty well for us. But we liked the idea of being able to work with all of you and share what we have to offer as analytics and metrics experts over here at Rojas Consulting. So that tells you a little bit about what we have and why we're into what we're into. So let's talk about why we do what we do. And I think the important thing that we do is we give business owners and decision makers the information that they need to grow businesses that build communities, change lives, and build a better world. I recognized a long time ago I can't change the world by myself, but I can empower the people around me to do it for me. But a little bit about me and my background. I'm probably like a lot of you. I grew up as that kid that hated math. I didn't like, all the Pythagorean theorem and the transformative property and all of that good stuff. And the reason why I didn't like it, because it never made any sense to me. It wasn't relatable. It wasn't until I got into college, and it's ironic, being somebody that hated math, to go on and get an MBA and run a business and all of that. But it wasn't until I got into college and I had a grad level statistics course that math became relatable, and it became something that allowed me to work better and be better, and really started to make sense to me. So after I got out of that statistics course, I had a lot of other opportunities in marketing to develop a sense of what we call prescriptive website analytics. And that's the ability to kind of predict the future based on what is happening on your website and being able to analyze that and share. What this does is gives you the power to know rather than to guess. I was having a Facebook chat the other day, or just earlier today, about the evolution of marketing. And it's just amazing to think about where we are now versus where we were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I think one of the most important things that has happened in the marketing space is that we now have the ability to know what's going on. It used to be that marketing was a little bit of, kind of a magic trick, nothing up my sleeve, but nobody seemed to kind of understand why did people gravitate in the way that they did, why did they choose what they did. Digital marketing and analytics allows us to now know rather than guess. And we do this using something called validated marketing. The term was made popular by Eric Ries in the Lean Startup, but it talks about being able to have learning that actually affects the bottom line at the end of the day. It's understanding the connection between every click and how that affects revenue, how that affects growth, how that affects your business's ability to reach its ultimate goal. So let's talk a little bit about how we do it. And like I said, we make it easier for companies to understand the language of the click. And the language of the click to me is understanding what is it that somebody is saying when they click or when they don't click. That is a communication with you, and it creates a language across the kind of the analytical side of your website, and we read that and translate it back into you guys so that you understand profitability, you know, how much money is invested in which place, where you might be wasting money, all of that good stuff. So how we do this is we monitor, measure, and modify digital marketing. Typically, we use kind of our own little private mix of Google Analytics, some Excel spreadsheets, and some other secret data to get a good sense and understand what's really going on with your website and its ability to attract an audience. We focus heavily on validated learning, which are those metrics that actually have an effect on your ability to reach your goal as a business owner. One of the things that we often talk about, you know, business owners, entrepreneurs in particular, are interested in staying in business. They want to be here next year and the year after and the year after. So what we have to do is pay attention to those things on the website that actually have an impact on you reaching that goal. So, you know, just traffic to your website, for example, may or may not have anything to do with your ability to stay in business another year. What actually does matter, what we often find, is conversion. Are they buying things? Are they downloading the videos? Are they sharing your content? That's what seems to really matter, and so that's what we focus on when we talk about validated learning. The other thing we do a lot of is A/B split testing. There have been some awesome upgrades to Google Analytics that allow us to run A/B split tests fairly easily now. And what that does, for those of you who may not be familiar with A/B split testing, is to take half your traffic or a third of your traffic, or how we usually don't split more than about 3 different ways, and it randomly allows people to see different versions of your website, a landing page, whatever it is that we're testing. And you can actually measure, for example, if the headline is different here than it is there, how many people actually converted, how many people actually did that step that puts the company closer to their goal, and it allows you to make some choices based on qualified data rather than just a hunch or just a feeling. So we do that very often, and it's a fabulous way to move forward in the know rather than moving forward in the guess. We also build algorithms so that we help businesses understand how their messages are being received and what's the best way to put their information out so that you know, they reach their ultimate goal. So oftentimes, for example, we'll find that having the date and the time of the message doesn't matter as much as having a message that actually connects with the audience. So if it's a powerful message, for example. Sometimes we'll find that what's holding people up is that sale button or that buy now button doesn't appear safe. So adding, you know, some different things in there and changing up our terminology makes a difference. But for that business, that's more important for actually moving conversion. So we actually create a mathematical model of what things are more important that the business can have and keep, and usually they're good for about a year, and that's what an algorithm is. It's kind of a mathematical formula that describes something that's happening. We all do all of this through what we call a design, observe, analyze cycle. So we design an offering, we design a different landing page, we can work with you guys. If you're the web developer, we can work with you to design it. You can design it on your own if you'd rather not have us design it. Then we observe. We run the analytics. Depending on what it is that we're observing, it may take a day, it may take a week. And we try not to let things last more than about 30 days because then you have the conflicting seasonality starts to affect things a little bit too much. But depending on the amount of traffic, we can observe things literally within a day or a little bit longer and get some actual verifiable results. Then once we have those results, we then apply them, and that's how we do that. And then we continually cycle through that. So even if we've had kind of a breakthrough and we discover, you know what, having the call to action below the fold actually did convert better than having it above the fold, great. That was great. Breakthrough number one. Then we'll go back and we'll adjust the copy on it. So can we get even more conversion? And it's really until the point that we've kind of exhausted everything that we say, okay, we're done. This is as good as it's going to get. Hopefully you guys are still with me out there. Go ahead and post your questions. All of you that are watching on YouTube, you can post into YouTube. If you type a message into the comments, I can see them and we will be going through them. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions. So getting back to this, we use metrics and analytics to observe what is happening on digital marketing outlets and the overall effect on the company's ability to reach their goal. So for you guys, what we would do is offer different avenues for you to achieve this. So we have the opportunity to work with you by the project. So if you have, you know, somebody that's only here for a short amount of time, and maybe it's just a campaign or a drive, but you want the metrics and you want the data, that's a perfect opportunity to work with us by the project. We also can offer monthly monitoring and reporting. We'll talk more in detail about this, but the monthly monitoring and reporting, we would report directly back to you, and then you can make the decision about tailoring it so that it goes back to your ultimate client. I really could care less if my name is on it, if the Rojas Consulting logo is on it. It could be all your business that is providing this information to your clients. I'm not at all interested in your client so much as I am empowering you to help your clients get better at what it is that they do. So now that we've started talking about how we can work together, an analytics partnership with Rojas Consulting would allow you to expand your current offerings without putting a strain on your resources. So what it allows you to do is now offer analytics and metrics, whether you want to just add that to your website, add that to your sales conversation, however you feel is best to do that. But it won't cost you anything. You don't have to hire anybody. You don't have to go get any additional training. None of that is required for us to work together. What we hope will happen is that we have a better, deeper, or more powerful effect on the future of businesses together than we could ever have by ourselves. We also want to make sure that everybody's profit pools are diversified. So for you, if you're a website designer or if you're a consultant and you work with people to improve their finances, that you have this stream of revenue coming in as well. So then one of the neat things we've been able to do is to streamline our process so that we can offer you a price point where you can attach an overhead on top of it and offer that final price to your client. That way you make money, we make money, we have happier clients, and everybody wins. We also want to make sure that we present ourselves professionally, because I think it's one of the things that oftentimes can scare people about partnering is if the other end of it is maybe not as professional, they're not as trustworthy. We deliver our projects on time, on budget, and we fully guarantee that we will do exactly what it was we said we would do. So, how can we do this? What do we need to do to move forward? Partnering with you helps me to reach more, do more, and help more businesses. So this is actually the easiest part. Watching this video today, there's nothing else you have to do. So here's a couple of options for you. You can link to some informational pages from our website to your website. So that will allow you to, when you're talking with your clients or you want to include it in your presentation, that you'll have those links so that you can just show exactly what it is right there. After we finish up this talk, there's a few more edits we wanted to take into account any of the questions that come up in here and make sure that we address them on the website. So within the next few days, we'll have that updated for you and we'll post the link that you can share. You can also get links to videos about our videos. So we have created some special videos for you guys to use that you can share them on YouTube, you can share them with your clients, however it works best for you so that you can convey the message in a video format. We also have e-book brochures that you can download and print on your own. So that will allow you to be able to share that information that way. Also, what we're offering is if we get a bit of a commitment of a partnership, if you really think that you have a lot of customers that would be interested in this idea, then we can custom create some things. If you send me your logo, send me your taglines and all of that good stuff, then we can custom create some advertisements so that it doesn't even, we're invisible. It just has what we're able to do, but it has your logo and your information on it. So what do we do now? What you need to do is let your customers know that you have this available as an option. That might be as simple as just updating your newsletter. Maybe you want to tweet about it or share it in your social media. However you do that, that's up to you. Once you get somebody who is interested, particularly if you're doing the project-to-project route, let me know that you've got an opportunity, and then we'll talk in more detail about that specific project. Since every product, budget, and business is different, we will provide a custom quote within about 2 business days of when we talk. It's really hard to give you an hourly rate necessarily because it really differs as to what we're doing and how many tools and databases we'll have to have access to answer your questions. We deliver scientific quality results on time and will never charge you more than the quote. So whatever the quote is, as long as we stay within the scope of what that quote covered, then we will guarantee to you that we will never charge you more than the quote. So we are interested in the long-term profitability of working with all of you than we would ever be in the short term of your clients. So you don't have to worry about us stealing your clients. I have no interest in working with your client. I feel the best relationship and the best opportunity for Rojas Consulting to reach our goals is to help you reach your goals as a business. So in summary, what we can do is we feel like we can increase profits, we can bring past clients back, we can attract new clients who would appreciate this new total package of what you're offering, and particularly for those who want to see a methodical improvement to their marketing. This isn't splash in the pan type stuff. This is not, about fad marketing and going viral. This is methodical. This is scientific. This is black and white facts. It's not based on guesses or hunches or anything like that. Okay? So we're wrapping up this video here, and I really hope you will take the opportunity to work together with us to improve your suite of offerings by offering analytics and metrics programming with Rojas Consulting. I really feel strongly that as we move forward as a business segment, we are going to get more scientific. It used to be that marketing was kind of magic, then it became a bit of an art, and now we're looking at it as more of a science. Having experimenting, a scientific approach to marketing, a methodical, analytical, data and number-driven marketing campaign that actually produces the ROIs we're looking for, the customers we need, and reaches the goals of our businesses. So that concludes our presentation part of what we have to offer.
we want to work with you guys. We do often get requests that would require us to kind of go beyond our scope. If you haven't seen, some of the marketing things, we're analytics and metrics people. We love to write content and use verbs, but I know for Lem, you are really great with the visual image, and that's just an area that perhaps I'm not as strong at. So I call it a partnership because what we can help you with is throw you a customer or two, or when we have an opportunity that really requires some strong visuals, is to work with you and make it profitable for you as well, to help us out with those visuals so that we're at the end presenting the best possible thing for those businesses. So it would be a partnership because it would allow us to work with you. It's not necessarily a situation where you're working for us or we're working for you. It really is a genuine partnership. We really do want to see everybody that gets involved in this, really work together and everybody win at the end of the day. Are we building websites, or will we need a third party? I don't want to build as much as I want to focus on visual communications. If the client that you're working with does not have a website but wants one, then we can certainly take care of that. We can build the website. We could, if they're I hate to offer it. I don't like Wix and Weebly and, some of the ones on GoDaddy. It's just my own personal preference. I don't think they're as helpful as you might think that they are, but that's a whole nother hangout for another day. But we can use those sites as well. We can pull metrics from those also. So we can build websites still. We haven't turned our back on that at all. We just, it's just not necessarily my preference as where to go to do it. So if they need a website built, absolutely, we could take care of that. And Lem, I know you're a graphic artist, so if you wanted to be take care of providing us with those visuals, then we could put those into a website that works. I know Katrina, for example, is from the great state of Kansas, my hometown, and does some fantastic website design. So again, this would be an opportunity for us to partner with somebody else and say, hey, look, if you could do the website build for us, Lem's going to do the visuals, we'll take care of the analytics and metrics. I have another lady, I don't know if she's on, I hope she is, Laura Williams, that does content writing, so we can pull in our partners and make this work. So here's thanks Leon for posting Katrina's class question. So if a client is interested in these services, what question or information do we need to get from them so you can provide an accurate quote? What I think would be the best way to answer that, Katrina, is for you and I, for example, to talk. So let's say you have a client and they're saying that they want to take part of, they want to take advantage of an analytics or metrics offering for their website. So you and I first, we need to talk. So we would talk about, what's the background? What's going on with this client? What are their goals? Why do they have these goals? Do we understand, what's the website for? What was the point of the website? And it's really interesting because a lot of people don't understand what the point of their website was. They put it up because everybody said they needed a website, and then they're just going to sit back and wait to get rich. And those of us in this industry on this call or on this hangout understand that that's not how it works. So what we would want to do first is have a conversation about exactly what it is that that customer needs. What are they looking for? Are they wanting to get more customers through their sales funnel? Are they, they don't even know if, which social media should they be using, for example. So that would be the first step. And then depending upon the outcome of that, we could work on what the next steps would be. So, I would say what information you need to have is just a very clear picture of what their goals are, what their objectives are. If you send me their URL so I can take a look at it and see what I can see, even just from an exterior glance, there are some systems that we use that can tell us a lot about what's going on, from the front side of the website without even having access to the back side. So if you send me that information about a client, then I would be able to give you a pretty accurate quote, one that I'd be willing to stand behind and say that I will not exceed this number based on that. So I need to know what the goal is, what the website, what the URL is, and that's a good starting point. And then you and I would have a conversation, and then based on that conversation, we would be able to provide. This has been absolutely fantastic. I love talking with you guys. We will be doing these types of hangouts a little more often. So if you ever want to come back and see the information again, or have a follow-up question that maybe you forgot about, you can post them in the comments on either place, on the YouTube page or in the Google Plus page. We will try to pull them over from Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, any of our other places that you might be watching the video or sharing your information. So go ahead, ask questions. No question is too stupid. You can also private message me. I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm on Google Plus all the time. You can send me a Twitter message, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question that might come up about this. If you want to get started, if this is something that you want to do, absolutely send me an email. My email address is Carmen at rojasconsulting.net. It is Carmen at rojasconsulting.net is the best way to reach me. Also by email if you want to send a private information, a private question, and we'll go forward from there. So let's move forward in the know. And let's move forward understanding what is actually happening. Let's move forward in a scientific, methodical, analytical approach to marketing. It will save you money. It saves money to know what's happening, to know where to invest, to know where your customers are, and to not just where your customers are, but where the customers are that are actually willing to purchase and willing to buy your product or service. That's what analytics and metrics can do for you. It actually saves you money in the long run, and it will save your clients money. And if you're saving your clients money, how can they be mad at you? It just seems like a win-win to me. So thank you so much for paying attention and being a part of this. Again, any questions or comments, leave them below, and we'll catch you on the next